Hello there, Atheist Junior here, your friend and humble narrator, and I was recently recommended a video by YouTube's algorithm titled How to Defeat Atheism in Under 2 Minutes.
A little while ago, I was invited to a university to speak at the Atheistic Society. They said, Pastor Barrett, we would like you to come and get involved in a debate with all the atheists. I said, fine. I said, what's the heading? Well, what's the caption? What are we debating on? And they said this, the debate is this, the premise is, there is no God.
There is no God is not a debate topic. Usually debate topics are phrased as questions like, is there evidence that God exists? Where you would be arguing the affirmative position and the atheist would be arguing the negative position.
I said, okay. They said, yeah, the president of the Atheistic Club, he will stand up and he will share for 15 minutes on how there is no God, and then we're going to give you 10 minutes to prove to us that there is a God. I said, bro, I don't need 10, I only need 2 minutes. He said, come on down. So I went down, I won't tell you which university it was, but I drove to Cambridge, and when I got to Cambridge, I go into this lecture hall, right? And there's, 1,000 students there, and the lead atheist, he gets up and he's preaching. And he's spitting, and he's frothing at the mouth, and he's eloquent, he's brilliant. How can any rational person believe that there is a God? You got to be stupid to believe that there is a God, and all these sorts of things, all the things that you've heard.
All those straw man descriptions of how atheists act, yeah, I've definitely heard all of those before. But if I were you, I wouldn't accuse anybody else of spitting and frothing at the mouth, guy.
And then they said, and now we're going to get Glenn Barrett, he's going to come up and tell us why there is a God. Have you ever read the verse, led like a lamb to the slaughter? So I get up on stage, and there's boos and hisses and all these sorts of things, and I come up the front, and I just said to the guy, I said, listen, you spoke so eloquently. I said, come and join me on stage. So he came and joined me at the podium at the front there, and I said, you believe there is no God? He said, there is no God. You cannot be a rational person and believe there is a God.
Oh wow, boos and hisses? You must feel so persecuted. You're like a modern day Job. But I think this is another straw man. It's possible to be rational and have a religious faith. The two are not mutually exclusive.
I said, okay, help me out with this. I want to show you something. And I drew a circle on a whiteboard like this. I said, this circle represents knowledge. Everything that could ever be known about any subject fits in there. All the sciences, all the arts. You're an intelligent man. You study at this university. How much do you know of everything that could possibly be known? So he took a pen and he drew that and he went, I reckon I know this much. I said, wow, you're intelligent. He said, yeah, I am. I said, that's brilliant. I said, so that's what you do know? He said, yes. I said, and that's what you don't know? He said, yes. But this does exist, you just haven't discovered it yet. Yes. Therefore, could God not exist in a dimension that you haven't yet discovered?
So this is a totally malformed question. You couldn't possibly quantify all human knowledge this way, because knowledge isn't made up of simple facts that either are true or aren't true. Knowledge is an evolving framework. So it's either that things are more likely to be true or less likely to be true, based on our own flawed human perception. So the premises that make up this argument are really flawed and fallacious. The first one is basically that there's way more that you don't know than you do know. The second one is basically, if there's a lot more that you don't know that you do know, that for any given proposition that you don't know, it's more likely that it'll be inside the circle than not inside the circle. You don't know that God exists, therefore God exists is more likely to be inside the circle than outside.
Answer, yes. Therefore, sir, I would suggest you're not an atheist, you're an agnostic, and one step closer to knowing my Jesus.
Wow, atheism defeated, guys, except for the fact that the second premise in that argument is total crap. If you're saying that any proposition that you don't know is more likely to be within that circle of knowledge, then you could say, well, you don't know that the flying spaghetti monster or Zeus exists. Therefore, it's way more likely that they do. So you could apply your own argument to any other god, and it would be just as valid. You could say that there are a bunch of Easter eggs full of tapioca pudding under Kent Hovind's basement. And since you don't know if that's true or not, it would be more likely that it is true and within the circle of knowledge. Oh, who put all these Easter eggs full of tapioca pudding inside my basement? Hovind? Another sign of a great argument is when somebody disables the comments on their videos. So that's just the icing on the cake, isn't it? I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this guy's defeater for atheism in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one.